So I'm going to show you where all my tarot cards typically can be found. Sorry for the shadows. Can't really see in there. I'm kind of seeing there. Yeah, I'm kind of... There we go. Typically full. This shelf as well. Typically you'll find books and decks over there, and then decks here. This is what we have. So question is, what the hell happened? So where did they all go? Well, let's see here and here. This is my son's bowling bag, by the way. And here. And there's an interesting story behind all of this. Hey, long time no see. I have to apologize about my appearance, but you'll kind of understand. I know you saw the beginning of the video where I had a lot of my decks all packed up. You're probably wondering why. So let's rewind a bit and go back to a video that Kelly Bear did. She did the original video a few years ago and redid the video last year, and I did a video response to it about the your top 5 tarot decks that you can't live without. And you know, a lot of people said things like, oh, you know, if my house was going to burn down, I would grab these decks and, you know, whatever. So it made me think about items that we have within our spiritual practice, or witchy practice, our tarot practice. Items that hold special significance. Sorry, itchy. Hold special significance that we cannot replace that item because of the memories associated with it. There's the significance is, you know, it's like, yeah, I can get a new deck, but can I, you know, replace that specific deck in the memories it holds for me? And yeah, I have, like, right here, it's a shadow. I stopped the video and checked. I have nothing there. It's weird. I don't get it. So anyway, so I thought about it and I thought, oh, my 5 things that, these are things that I would, you know, do everything in my power to grab. And guess what? On Monday, the 17th of August, there was a fire. I'm in Northern California, so I'm used to fires. And we've had really bad ones in this area, and, you know, ash falling from the sky, huge ash, big chunks, like probably this big. Never evacuated, nothing. And we could see the smoke billowing up from the canyon a few miles away. You know, it's like, wow, that's pretty severe. Damn, you know, that was the whole, that's how we all felt at the house. And we don't have a landline, but our neighbor does. And they came rushing out because they got the call to evacuate. So I was trying to find information. We were trying to pack up. One of my cats, who's really skittish, decided to hide. I finally found her. We have 5 cats, so that was real fun. 1 cat carrier. And so we finally got out of here and then had to come back because we were just scatterbrained, because downtown where my uncle lives was on a evacuation warning. We were under evacuation orders. They were under a warning. So needless to say, didn't come back until the 20th, Thursday. So finally unpacked all my tarot decks and stuff. And it was interesting because of the items that I had picked in my mind, one was never thought. So it's not here. It's not on my little list. But these other items are, and so I'm going to go through them with you. There's actually 7. I was going to do 5, you know, because 5 seems like a good number. There's technically 7. 2 of them kind of go together, so 6 maybe? I don't know. One was an afterthought. When we came back, I grabbed it, and so I will start with that one, kind of like an honorable mention, and that is my statue of Ganesh. And what's significant about this is what happened was I was starting, you know, I don't know why, but excuse me, I've been drinking soda. I bought the Whispers of Lord Ganesha Oracle deck, and it was not something I'd wanted or anything, but I felt drawn to it, and so I felt drawn to get a little statue, but none of them seemed right. And I went, and I was at my bead shop, my local bead shop, and they had this one, and yes, moment I saw it, I knew. Moment I picked it up, I knew I could not put it back. So I got this statue. He sits on my altar, always. If he's not on my working altar, maybe during like Samhain season, he will be on another altar in my room. But yes, he always has a place on an altar. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. I have my fan off so you can hear me. Anyway, with this one, I did, when we came back, I did pick it up and hold it in my hand and ask Ganesh to please protect our home. And what's interesting is we were kind of south of the fire. It never progressed really any further south. So, yay! See? Prayer works. Go for it. But yes, so he's one of those items that he holds special significance. I would have to take him if I'm ever evacuated again. He sat in the little center console thing between the two seats. Yeah, that's where he stayed in the car. The next thing, which is 2 items, and it's again, you know, when a tool calls to you, then it's the right time to get that tool. And what I did is, some 25 years ago, you know, new to witchcraft, all that, I decided, oh, I had to have all the little tools, all the little things. Had to have the cauldron, you know, the god and goddess candle, the pentagram, this chalice, silver, of course, all that shit. And I got myself an athame, and it had one of those wooden handles on it that was like that rainbow colored wood. Never used it. Detested it, actually. I really was just like, this is cringy. And so I thought about it about a year or so ago. I thought, well, maybe I'll just give a look-see for other athames. I don't know. And I found one that I fell in love with. So I got it. I have used it in, you know, gardening rituals and everything like that. Here it is in its little sheath. Has one of those little gems on it. I didn't care. But a lot of them, if you take it, it'll have the notches in it, and I hate that. So this was perfect, and I was like, oh, it's my athame, and it's been blessed with the elements and everything. But recently, and I posted on my Instagram, I redid the handle on my old one, and I used an ebony stain and a varnish on it. And guess what? I'm sorry, I'm holding it in my hand. It's not perfect. It's got some dings in it, so the color's showing through. But I redid the handle, and so here it is. And I just love it, and it gave it new life. And yeah, grabbed both those up, went in the same box with the most important tarot decks and the birth certificate. So that's significant. So my athames, must have. They are special tools to me. So these are 4 things that were on my original list, and some of these things I've had for a very long time, and they mean the world to me. So the first one is when I was about 10 years old, 4th grade I think. This girl brought crystals for show and tell, and each of the students got to take one home. And so I picked out this guy. Just a simple quartz point. And I've had it for 40 years. It was my first crystal. I mean, I have, you know, a selenite tower over here. I have a huge quartz point, but no, this one got picked up and put in the car. Another item, let's see, what I'll do is this one. Now, another item that's precious to me, which I could replace this deck. It cost me a pretty penny, but I could do it. But this deck is significant, and part of it is this was probably my first introduction to ever seeing tarot of any sort. When I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to touch this deck. So the first cards I ever read with were with playing cards. So this I wasn't allowed to touch. This was my mother's, and it is the Grand Attila Egyptian Gypsies Tarot. And it's because, you know, it was my mom's, and my mom has been dead for 19 years now, almost 19 years, that, yeah. And it's like pretty much any other Attila style deck. If you look, get the book of Thoth, Attila deck from Los Scarabeo, it's very similar. I mean, this is like cardboard cardstock. It does not bend. Let's see. Every single card is numbered. Here's what basically the pip cards would look like. Here's some of the court cards. The thing is, yeah, you know, I could buy this deck again, but it wouldn't have been my mom's deck. It wouldn't have been the deck I saw as a kid. It would be a different deck. This deck specifically, and it's sad looking box with parts ripped off. Yeah, so this got thrown in the suitcase with a picture of my kitty Starlight, which the channel's kind of named after. Yeah, so that got evacuated with me. Now another one is, another item that holds significance for me is, and I thought another item would, and it didn't. Now, my dad's family was Catholic. My dad's not a practicing Catholic, hasn't been for years. I've been a practicing Catholic before. My problem with Catholicism isn't Catholicism itself, it's some of the people who practice it. Yeah, but I do have an affinity for the Blessed Virgin. She means the world to me for a lot of reasons. But what was interesting is when my grandmother passed away in '93, I believe it was, there were no Catholics left in the family, in the immediate family. So what they do for a Catholic when they pass away is they will have a funeral mass, and then before the funeral mass, either right before or maybe the day before, they will have a rosary. And I wanted to say the rosary for my grandmother, and I learned the prayers and kind of sucked at it at the rosary. Why is it all, oh my god. Ah! Anyway, so I went out, I picked out a rosary, picked out a little book to learn the prayers, and one of the things I learned is with prayer beads, it'll put you in a really cool meditative state. And that is a time when divinity and, you know, your higher self can really communicate with you. So this is the rosary I bought years and years ago. The beads are like a light purple. But it's important to me not just because having been a practicing Catholic or my affinity for the Blessed Virgin, it's because this is connected with my grandmother. Even though it was never hers, it's connected to her. And so I have a hell of a rosary collection. I shit you not. It's amazing. But they didn't go with me. This one did. So it has its special little pouch. And I laughed at myself thinking, oh, it'd be funny if it's not even in there. And guess what was on top? This rosary. And I was like, holy shit, I didn't even take it with me. No, it was underneath. So Good Lord, I thought I was going to freak out. So the final thing, and she sat in the center console between the two seats with the Ganesh statue, and I got her years and years and years ago, like 25 years ago. I came across it. It's when eBay had some cool shit on it and not just mass market crap. But people were selling neat things that they had and you could buy this stuff up. And someone had come across this statue and they painted her light blue and then hit her with some silver rub and buff and then put her on a geode slab, and here she is. Even when I became a Catholic, she stayed. She never went anywhere. I always kept her. She is very unique. She sits on one of my altars, which is right above, it's like right over there. She's always on that one. Always. If you ever follow me on Instagram, you'll see when I sometimes will do my card draws for the day, you'll see the card sitting basically in front of her. It's more of a devotional altar, but yeah, I've had her for 25 years or so. She is unique. She, not only could I never replace this actual statue, I could never replace her significance. And so, yeah, so I grabbed her up and gently, I mean, I was throwing stuff out of that little center thing just to make sure she fit perfectly in there. So, it looks like she might be a little banged up on the geode. That's okay. She's okay. But yeah, but those are some of the things that, yes, when I evacuated, they went with me because their significance is so great in my life that I could never replace these items ever again. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you have those kind of items in your life that you will never part with, they are completely irreplaceable. Leave a comment, state what they are, or make a video. That would be fun too. And until next time, much love and blessings.